The night my mother-in-law dropped to her knees on livestream, the #1 local trend said, "Daughter-in-law forces elder to kneel." I was on the subway when a stranger tapped my shoulder and hissed, "Do you have any conscience at all?" That was when I learned a person can be convicted in public with a 30-second clip. My name is Lin Wan. I am 32, married for 5 years, and I work in risk control at a global firm. I build my life in spreadsheets, income, debt, exposure, probability. But I never put mother-in-law livestream kneeling into my risk register. In the video, she knelt on my living room floor, sobbing so hard she could barely breathe. She kept repeating, "Wan Wan, Mom is begging you, please do not push us into ruin." Off camera, someone urged her to stand up in a tone that sounded rehearsed. The comments were a flood, "Monster daughter-in-law, toxic woman, get out of this city." I did not go home. I sat outside a convenience store and replayed the clip frame by frame. At second 19, the camera shook and her left hand flashed into view. She was gripping a folded document. In the corner, I could read, "Paternity test report." My fingers went cold. My husband and I had been trying for a child for years and failing. Every time I suggested adoption, he said, "Not yet, we need to keep things stable at home." I thought he meant money. Now I understood he meant secrets. I called Chung Yuan. He declined. I called again. Phone off. Third time, voicemail. 10 minutes later he texted, "Apologize first. Do not make this bigger. Mom has high blood pressure." The one being hunted online was me, and I was still the one expected to be reasonable. The next morning, I met a lawyer named Maya, 40, divorced, voice sharp as a scalpel. After watching the video, she did not ask if I was okay. She asked, "Where is the original file?" Then she gave me 3 tasks. Preserve every replay, request platform data retention, pull every transaction from our joint account. I did all 3 before sunset. 3 days later, the first statement landed. Over 18 months, 12 transfers from our joint account went to the same recipient, Evelyn Shaw. Memo lines said rent, nanny, tuition, pediatrics, insurance. Each payment was small enough to avoid attention. Together, they could have covered a down payment. I remembered Chung Yuan coming home smelling like baby formula, saying a coworker spilled it. It was not a coworker. It was another life. A week later, he finally showed up, not at home, but in a mediation room. He slid an agreement across the table: compensation, one-time transfer, and a confidentiality clause. The last line said, "Neither party may publicly discuss this family dispute." "You want me silent?" I asked. He said, "The internet is ugly already. If this keeps going, nobody wins." I asked one question, "How old is the child?" He whispered, 4. 4 years. While I was taking hormone shots and vomiting in office bathrooms, he was celebrating birthdays at another address. "Who planned the kneeling live stream?" I asked. He said, "Mom was just desperate." "No," I said. "She was sentencing me in public. And you were not weak. You were complicit." I did not throw anything. I did not scream. I pushed the agreement back. I do not want hush money. I want a public correction and a formal apology. If you put me on the trend board, you can pull me off it the same way. Over the next month, the tide began to turn. People found an edit jump in the original clip. The platform labeled the content as misleading. Then the court accepted the case. Some accounts that called me evil deleted their posts. Some pretended they had never seen me. No one apologized. I no longer needed that. On the eve of trial, my therapist asked what I feared most. I said that I will never trust anyone again. She said, You do not have to trust everyone. Start by trusting your ability to document, protect, and survive. That sentence kept me standing. On Judgment Day, it rained. The court found material misrepresentation in the public narrative and ordered takedowns, corrections, and apology obligations. It was not a fairy tale ending. It was a long correction. When I walked out of court, I left the family group chat for good. Later, Chung Yuan texted long paragraphs about regret and second chances. I blocked him. Starting over requires someone who never hid a blade in the middle of your life. At night, I open the window and let the air in. Trends move on. Feeds refresh, outrage rotates, but the day a woman stops being defined by others and starts defining herself should never expire in 30 seconds.